Good evening and welcome out to tonight's tackle trading onboarding webinar. This is Coach Frank. I'll be showing you around the site a little bit, kind of let you know who we are at tackle trading, what we're doing, when we're doing it, where you can find that. So hopefully, if you're just getting to know us or a recent pro member, you can take better advantage of all that tackle trading has to offer. We'll dive right into it. Really, tackle trading really to me is just a group of traders that have come together, bounce ideas around each other, share knowledge, help one another out. It's an awesome community of traders. I love being part of it. However, when I'm explaining it to people, I like to kind of break it down into three core areas. I'll kind of talk about the things that you can do on your own. We have a variety of courses, weekly blog content, some different tools over in our trade center, then things that you can do with others, our live schedule or meeting with our team in a variety of ways each and every week, live during market hours and in the evening. And then lastly, our weekend reports where we can share our thoughts on the overall market prepping into next week, as well as highlight some trade ideas, whether it's in the stock, options, or commodities markets. And so that'll kind of be the angle that we'll come at it here tonight as well. Let's kind of start with that first basket, that things that you can do on your own. We do have a variety of courses. Our 7-step guide to trading is a relatively short course, probably just shy of 2 hours, but it will do a couple of things. One, it'll kind of introduce you to the tackle trading approach. As you can imagine, no two traders are exactly the same, but from a foundational point of view, I think we do kind of share that belief system here at tackle trading, from starting at the top of the market, how we're choosing our strategies. We're big watch list traders, so how are we building and managing those as we're finding and analyzing potential trades, of course, placing and managing the trade, ultimately journaling the trade. It'll kind of walk you through the tackle trading approach, if you will. If you're newer to the market, it will probably help give you some structure in the daily routine as well. If you're a vet, you probably have a daily routine you're already real comfortable with, but maybe you can get an idea or two in there as well. Definitely worth checking out the 7-step guide to trading. As traders, of course, charts are very important to us, and that's true whether we're day traders, swing traders, position traders, stock traders, option traders, crypto traders, whatever kind of traders we like to call ourselves. We're going to be using technical analysis, so the better we are at that, the better we're probably going to be, right? We do have a technical analysis 101 course, going to really be focusing on charts, and more charts, right? Support, resistance, trend, momentum, reversals, patterns, candlesticks, all of that good stuff. We can all get better at that. I've yet to meet the person who is 100% on their charting. I know we all strive to be so, probably never going to hit that goal, but that doesn't mean we can't try to get a little bit better. Certainly an awesome course, that Technical Analysis 101 course, definitely worth checking out. We are big on the options front here at Tackle Trading. We do have an Options 101 course now, and here we're really going to focus a lot on what's going on when you buy or sell that contract. We're going to talk not so much about strategies in any depth. We're really going to be focusing on the Greeks, implied volatility, time, right? Liquidity, all of those things that are going to be so important to understand as we branch into our strategies. And I'll show you where you can find those here shortly. The more you understand why that contract is doing the things it does, the easier it probably is going to be to wrap your head around whatever strategy it is you're trying to employ. If you've ever been interested in learning more about the futures of the Forex markets, we do have introduction courses into those markets as well. I know not everybody wants to trade them, and that's fine. That's what's cool about trading. We don't have to trade anything we don't want to trade, but I don't want anyone to feel like they can't trade Forex or they can't trade futures. Of course, you can if it's something that is interesting to you. Great place to start if you're looking at either of those markets. Regardless of what kind of market you like to trade, what time frames you like to trade, really is important to have a very clearly defined system in place, right? I think we all agree that rules and systems are important. It's one thing to say it, another thing to apply it, though, right? And so the system development course should really help you kind of take that step towards being more of a systematic trader. It really is a fantastic course. I can't recommend it enough, really, regardless of what kind of products you like to trade. So we do have a variety of courses. You also notice there's a handful of premium systems. We're going to circle back to these here in just a couple of moments. But before we do, We do have regular blog content, sometimes in written, oftentimes in video format, where we can just share more ideas, whether it's answering, questions that members of our team have asked, kind of highlight something that, we might be doing or seeing in the market, whether it's more charting and tales of a technician, more options and option theory, hearing from our awesome female traders in the Women in Trading blog. These are just going to be things that you can incorporate into your weekly routine to give you some ideas and hopefully help you grow as a trader. Over in the Trade Center, you will find a handful of things, including the Tackle Trading Playbook. And this is where we're going to have all of our strategies and the rules for those strategies. We break our strategy selection into 3 core areas based off of the option Greeks: Delta, Theta, and Vega. So our Delta is our directional playbook. I think the stock's going from 90 to 100, from 50 to 45, from point A to point B, right? I'm trying to capture that movement. So, of course, that would be buying and selling stock. That'd also be buying call options or put options, doing debit spreads, doing diagonal spreads, basically movement-based strategies. Then we're going to have the Theta side of things. That's where we're selling those options, bringing in that cash flow, right? That's going to be our covered calls and our naked puts and our credit spreads, our bear call and bull put credit spreads, our iron condors, basically our cash flow trades, right? Big fans of cash flow here at Tackle Trading. And then lastly, the Vega or the volatility playbook, where we're building a trade set on our expectations of the volatility. So as we're getting into earnings season, we're pretty much there now, right? This might be a time where I want to employ one of these strategies where, hey, based on the stock's history, I can't say for sure whether it's going to go up or down on its earnings report, but based on its history, it does tend to move a lot one way or the other. I might want to build a trade that profits as long as it does move a lot one way or the other. Or maybe you look at that and say, I just don't expect it to move that much. I think you're wrong, Frank. And you're kind of playing the other side. So these are going to be based off our expectations on volatility. In all of these, there'll be a detailed video going over the strategy, why we would choose the strategy, how we would do the strategy, the rules for the strategy, risk reward, all of that fun stuff. There's also a little downloadable PDF, so you have easy access to those rules as you're getting to know these strategies. You'll notice that on all of them, there is something anywhere from a 0 to a plus or a -3. And that's just kind of where we see it. If you kind of think about 0 as flat neutral, +1 or -1 would be slightly bullish or slightly bearish, 2 or -2 would be bullish or bearish, and then 3 or -3 would be very bullish or very bearish. We always want to match the strategy to the situation, right? Or at least our read of the situation. So this is kind of where we see these strategies fitting within that spectrum. That is the Tackle Trading Playbook. Again, you'll find it right there in the Trade Center. You'll also find a link to the trade journals, the glossary, our clubhouse. If you go directly into the Trade Center, this will kind of bring you to a What's Up at Tackle Trading page. In here, you'll find our most recent post, our next show, our last tweet. There is a watch list that you can build out for yourself in here. If you would like to do so, you would just throw the symbol you wanted. Say you wanted to add Walmart to your watch list here. I already have them in there, so we'll go ahead and add the gap here to that. Since I already had Walmart in there, I'm just going to throw in my symbol. I'll just go ahead and select it, and I'll hit this little plus button over here. That's going to add them to my watch list. If I want to get rid of them, I'll just select them, hit the minus button. Just kind of nice to be able to hop into a quick watch list without having to log into your trading account or whatever. Where you are in any courses, a little mini calendar. So really kind of a what's up page at Tackle Trading. There's also a variety of different trader tools in here. There's a link to the market skyline. That's going to have all of the major indexes, the major commodities, the charts for the major commodities, indexes, sectors, just all kind of in one location. A news aggregator that's going to go through some of the big financial sites, kind of grab their headlines for us so we don't have to, bounce around quite as much. An economic calendar so we can see what's on the docket for the day or for the upcoming week that might impact our trading. A link to our market reports. You'll also be able to find them over here. We'll talk about them here in a bit. Link to the compounding gains calculator, a chart if you ever need one. Trading glossary again, the search function, which you can also find in this little magnifying glass. There's also another link to the trade journals here inside of the Trade Center. So you can either catch them on the drop down. I like to come into them directly through the Trade Center though, like this, because it'll just take you directly to the tutorial video if you need some help in that regard. I know I certainly did when I started using a spreadsheet journal. We'll kind of walk you through the process. So either way, of course, journaling our trades is a very important part of all of this. We do have 3 different trade journals. The trade journal, we'll let it know what we did, when we did it, how much of it we did. It's going to track, what do we gain, lose, how long were we in the trade, how long were we in the average trade, what does our average, winning trade make us, what does our average losing trade cost us, all of that good stuff. We also have the theta research tool. This is where we can fairly compare different cash flow options. Say you wanted to do, you have 5 candidates that you're thinking about doing, bear call spreads on tonight, but you don't want to do 5 bear call spreads. You only want to do 2. Well, how can we determine which one is, the quote unquote best, right? The theta research tool will help us do that, have that for all of those different cash flow plays. And then of course the portfolio journal to help you keep organized and on top of things. If you do come into the trade journals through the Trade Center, just select the tab you want, hit the download button, and you will be good to go in that regard. So that is the Trade Center. Those are the trading journals. Let's kind of shift gears a little bit out of the things that you can kind of do on your own and into doing things with members of the team, because I think that's the fun part is being around other traders. So let's kind of start with the average market day here at Tackle Trading. Each market morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, we get together in our Traders Lounge for an hour. You're always welcome in there. It's a very laid back, informal environment where members of our team and community can ask questions, share ideas, share setups, ask for help if they need it, whatever it might be. That lounge is really for our team and what they need. So maybe you're struggling with a particular strategy and it would be helpful to kind of walk through it from beginning to end. Maybe you've got a sweet looking chart set up that you want to get some eyes on, some feedback on. Maybe you're struggling with your daily routine. Whatever it is you need, you're always welcome there in that Traders Lounge. That's every market day, so pretty much Monday through Friday, but more accurately each market morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. That will go for an hour. We are not going to record the lounge because quite honestly, no one's going to go back and watch from 6 months ago, right? But we will record snippets and get them posted in here as well. And if your schedule is such that maybe you're at work or you just have other commitments at 11 a.m. during the week, but you have a question, you can always let us know. We're always going to do our best to accommodate our team. We can cut a video on it. We can get it put in here so you can get your questions answered. Never hesitate to reach out if you do need something. So that is the Traders Lounge. Shortly after the lounge, we head over to the YouTube channel at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, where we do the Tackle Trading Halftime Report, that live look in on the market, where we can go through that daily routine, right? What's going on in the market today? How is it impacting our charts? We'll look at indexes. We'll look at the major commodities. We'll talk stocks in the news, right? We'll talk sectors. We'll really go through that process of following the market each and every day over on the YouTube channel at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. So whether it's here at Tackle, in our Traders Lounge, or over on our YouTube channel at 12:30 for the halftime report, we will be working the markets with the team each and every market day. We are also going to have evening shows on Tuesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We do our coaches show. Our coaches show allows us to take one of the many, many things there is to talk about in trading, right? And there's lots of things we can talk about, whether it's a particular strategy, a particular setup, a particular indicator, right? Lots of things that we can talk about, and allows us to kind of just take one of those things that's applicable to today's market and have a detailed, in-depth discussion on that. It's a really good experience. I enjoy, listening. I enjoy being on the coaches show. I hope you will enjoy it as well. That's Tuesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. That is recorded and archived. So if you can't make it live, or if you need to rewatch it, or if you want to go back and watch an episode on something that was interesting to you from a month ago or whatever, very easy to do right there in the archives. Same can be said with the Cash Flow Club. We do this on Thursday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Now, this one's going to be a bit more narrowly focused on, as you probably guessed, those cash flow plays, right? So covered calls, credit spreads, iron condors, naked puts, horizontal, basically cash flow based type of trading, both building and managing those trades. We do have I would say a good sized community of cash flow traders here at Tackle Trading. If you are interested in cash flow, I suspect you'll probably have a great time in that Cash Flow Club. Just like the coaches show, again, it is recorded in archives. You can always go back and catch an old episode or rewatch it or watch it at a more convenient time. whatever it is you need to do. You will notice we have a handful of mastermind groups as well. Now, what these are is we have a handful of premium systems. Our step system is our swing trading system. Our tackle 25 is a covered call based system. Our condors is a credit spread system on the Russell. Bear market survival guide, kind of protecting ourselves from bearish market turns, particularly in our longer term portfolio. If you're interested in any of these systems, you can always find more information over in the store tab. But what we do, one of the things that we do with members of each of those teams is we get together each month in a mastermind group, and we invite all of our pro members to join in those mastermind groups. So whether or not you've purchased the Tackle 25, whether or not you have any interest whatsoever in purchasing the Tackle 25 or the step system or whatever, you're always welcome to come on in, get in those mastermind groups, learn a little bit, check it out, see if it's something you want to take a closer look at. All of our pro members are welcome in those mastermind groups. These are a little less kind of set in stone, I guess, when it comes to the scheduling. The coaches show is always on Tuesday, and the Cash Flow Club is always on Thursday, except on Thanksgiving here in the States. But the Step System Mastermind Group, the Tackle 25 Mastermind Group, they're a little less rigid in that regard. Now, they do tend to be on Monday evenings, and you can always find out when they're scheduled over in the events calendar. But they generally are on Mondays, but that is not a hard and fast rule. Sometimes it'll be on a Wednesday or whatever the case might be. But do know, as a pro member, you are welcome in all of those mastermind groups for those discussions. So, I guess an overly simplified way to kind of think about the schedule is the morning lounge is really about what our team needs today. What are your questions? What do you need help with? What do you need? That's what we're really going to focus on each day in that lounge. And the halftime report's really about that daily routine, staying on top of the market, following along the giant story that is the stock market. And then the evening shows is where we can kind of dive deeper, put on that teacher's hat a little bit, and have, those in-depth discussions on these different strategies and things of that nature. And while, of course, there's going to be some gray area, right? That may be an overly simplified way to keep you from getting too confused. We do a lot of live content each and every week here at Tackle Trading, and we invite you to join us in all that we do, but we don't expect it. It's you have a life, and it's okay if you can't make it, but it's awesome if you do want to join. Just know you're always welcome to join us in whatever it is that we are doing. So that is the schedule. You'll get every morning in the Tackle Today email, which you can also find right here. If you don't have it, would like to sign up for it, very easy to do. You can also read it directly on Tackle Trading. It will get delivered to your inbox a little faster than it's going to get posted to the site. But if for whatever reason you just prefer to catch it here, that is fine. We'll kind of give you the lineup each day. Hey, this got this going. Here are the links. So hopefully can keep you organized in that regard. So that is going to be the schedule. And like I said, if you ever get too confused, you can head over to the events calendar, and this will have, everything that we've got going on, our links for it. Oh, hey, I want to join the coaches show. I want to join the bear market survival guide, whatever the case might be. Now, to all of the ladies out there, as I mentioned earlier, we have a tremendously talented team of female traders with us here at Tackle Trading. Awesome traders, awesome people. They get together about once a month in their Women in Trading Mastermind group. We have one next week, it looks like, on the 21st. Now, I can't tell you firsthand exactly what happens in that mastermind group. I don't get to go, but I'm certain that there's a lot of fun being had and a lot of good work being done. I know the team. I know the awesome ladies of Tackle Trading. And if you are a woman in trading, or if you know a woman in trading, keep your eyes open for that. Take part in that. I'm sure you'll have a fantastic time. And sorry, fellas, you'll have to find something else to do, and that's okay, right? So that is the schedule, or the things that you can do with others. Now let's talk a little bit about those weekend reports. So on Fridays, as the market's winding down, we all get together as a team of coaches here at Tackle Trading in what we refer to as our scouting report meeting. In that meeting, we talk markets, we talk sectors, we talk commodities, we talk trade setups. And out of that meeting comes our weekend reports, the Tackle newsletter, the stock options, and commodity reports that we get to delivered to our team each week by Saturday afternoon. So they have plenty of time to go through them before the market's back up and running. Starting with the Tackle newsletter, this is kind of where we all start. And here in the newsletter, we're going to kind of talk about the week that was, kind of what happened last week, what did it, ultimately do? How are we looking as we're moving into next week, right? So kind of catch up if you missed out on some of this stuff that's going on in the market. We're going to talk a lot about sectors in here. We're going to take a look at the upcoming economic calendar for the week, talk a little bit about how that might impact things during earnings season. We'll talk a little bit about earnings as well. You will, of course, we'll have a video kind of going through all of that stuff with you as well, kind of let you know where we are in the broad market, be it the S&P, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, or the Russell. If you need them, here are the ETFs that track those indexes. Take a look at the internals of the market to kind of see what it looks like, a little bit under the hood, if you will, with the team. We're also going to be updating our sector rankings each week in this newsletter as well. We're going to break our sectors. This is a big part of what we do here at Tackle Trading. We break our sectors into 3 core areas. We're going to have the growth areas of the market. They're going to be represented here in this blue color. That's technology, discretionary, and communication. Then you're going to have the cyclical side of the market represented in gold. That's financials, industrials, basic materials, and energy. And then the defensive side of the market represented here in this purplish color. That's healthcare, staples, utilities, and real estate. We're going to use the symbols on the Sector Spider ETFs to reflect those different sectors. The Sector Spider ETFs are here. And if you're not familiar with them, very quickly, what they do is their ETFs, they're going to go into the S&P 500 and pull out stocks on a sector by sector basis. So for example, XLE is the energy sector. So the ETF provider goes into the S&P 500, pulls out just the energy stocks, weights it accordingly, and puts that into this portfolio. So this is a look at the S&P 500 energy stocks as a collective unit versus, say, the real estate side of things or the technology side of things. These are ETFs, meaning they're tradable. These particular ETFs are optionable as well. If you want more information on those ETFs, I would just go straight to the source. The ETF provider's website is just the word sector, spdr.com. And you can take a closer look at how those are built, how they're weighted, who's in them, all of that fun stuff directly there. But we are going to use them to reflect the sectors. Now, we're not ranking it specifically off of what XLE looks like. That is a part of the analysis, but we're looking at the stocks that make up those as we're coming up with our rankings each and every week. We're going to kind of put it on a football field here. Again, kind of using that 1, 2, 3, between the 40s is neutral. Between the 40s and 20s is slightly bullish or slightly bearish. Between the 20 and the goal line is bullish or bearish. Now, it is extremely, extremely, extremely unlikely we're ever going to put an entire sector into plus or minus 3 territory. You never say never, but probably never. But you never know for sure. That might be, for me at least, that's very common on an individual stock. I plus or minus 3 all the time as I'm kind of doing my bias on an individual setup. But on an entire sector, it becomes very, very difficult to do so. So it's unlikely. That's just more aggressive than we are, to be quite honest with you. But we're going to be adjusting them each week based off what we're seeing, and we'll kind of talk you through the thought process in the video portion of the newsletter as well. And again, if you need the Sector Spider ETF symbols, they are all right in here. At the end of our meeting, well, towards the end of our meeting, kind of the break point of our meeting, I guess, we do our rapid fire where each of the coaches can talk a little bit about their favorite bullish and bearish setup from our upcoming reports, kind of talk about, kind of how we're seeing it, what we kind of like, what would be looking from an entry signal, stop loss, targets, all of that fun stuff. Just a fun way to kind of wrap up the meeting a little bit. We are very active over on our Discord channel, and I certainly invite you to come on over and join. It's a great place to talk trading with traders. If lots of ways to do it, but there's always going to be a link about 2/3 of the way down, like we are right now in the newsletter. There will always be a link to get you set up over there. If you have a hard time with it, don't hesitate to send us an email to team at Tackle Trading. We can help you get set up. But it's a great community of traders. I would certainly invite and encourage you to come on over and join us. Little friendly reminder to match the strategy to the situation, right? If you're if you're neutral on the market and don't have a strong bias one way or another, but you got 7 bullish trades going and 0 bearish, 7 bulls and no bears, you probably something's up, right? You're not lining up your bias. And so sometimes we need that friendly reminder, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's also some pre-built scans in here. So if you want to take a quick look at some stocks in a particular area, if you were going through your daily routine, working through those sector spider ETFs, you said, you know what, I really think this particular sector is interesting. I'd like to take a quick look at some stocks in it. Very easy to do. Have them set up for all of these. They'll just bring you over to FinViz and a pre-built scanner. Lastly, just a world watch, where's the all world, the emerging market, the dollar, and some final thoughts. That is the Tackle newsletter, and it really is where we all start each and every week. Then we want to make sure that we offer some actionable ideas, whether you're a stock trader, an option trader, trading commodities, trading all of the above, in our weekend reports. Coach Mark does the commodity report for us, does a great job, always keeping the team up to date with what's going on in the world of commodities. He'll talk technicals, he'll talk fundamentals, he'll talk themes that are developing or ongoing in those markets. He'll talk about ways that we can play them. Not everybody wants to trade the futures market, right? So, maybe you are bullish on crude oil, but you don't want to trade crude oil futures. Well, we'll talk about some ideas that we can do instead of that. Does a great job each week in the commodity report. Stock and option report, we can share some swing trading ideas, both from a bullish and a bearish perspective for both stock and option trades. These will be from a swing trading perspective, but certainly always one of the fun things about being a trader is looking at charts, right? And we want to make sure no matter what our team's trading, stock, options, commodities, they have quality watch list to work out of each and every week. You're not probably realistically going to use all of them, and that's fine. Just like anything, you're going to find the ones that you like and would like to add to your watch list, and the rest, for whatever reason, you never have to explain to me why you don't want to trade something. That's your business, right? It's not about what you don't want to trade. It's about what you do want to trade. So we'll make sure we have some ideas for our team each and every week in the reports. Again, you can expect these by Saturday afternoon, so you have plenty of time to get through them before the market is up and running. Don't be afraid to prioritize. I will always say you start with the Tackle newsletter no matter what. But if you're, say, primarily a cash flow trader, it's perfectly understandable that you prioritize the options report over the stock report, right? Because in the stock report, those are, stock plays. Sure, I mean, you could look at the liquidity, see if you'd want to do it, but they might be on the stock report because there's not a lot of option liquidity or whatever. So, you might be naturally inclined to the option report. If you don't trade options, you still can use the option report because a setup's a setup, but maybe you're a little bit more inclined to look at the stock report. I always tell folks, don't be afraid to build your own tackle trading. Set your priorities. It's okay that you like something better than something else. That doesn't make you a bad person or anything along those lines. As we get wrapping up here, there's lots of ways to stay in touch. If you need some help, all you have to do is ask. A great place to do that is at Traders Lounge. But you can also hit us up over in Discord. You can send us an email to team@tackletrading.com. Everybody here is on the same page. We want to see each other succeed in the market. If I can help you, I'm happy to do so. I would imagine you would say the same thing to me. If I can't help you, maybe I know somebody who does. I know lots of traders. Maybe I know somebody who does have a little insight that could be helpful for you. You're not alone in this. Sure, I can never have anybody but me make my trades. I'm responsible for my trades. I want it that way, but that's how it is, whether I like it or not, right? But I can talk, setups with people. I can, we can compare and contrast, if we, played a bull call versus a long call versus stock on this breakout candidate that we're looking at. We can have those discussions. Of course, we're always happy to help one another out around here at Tackle Trading. We're active on all the different social media platforms: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram. If you're using any of these platforms, I certainly invite you to come on over and join us. Over here on YouTube is probably where we're, the best known, I would say. We've got a lot of things over on the channel. We do a lot of live content. We do our, halftime report every day. We do special webinars. Last week, Coach Gino did a special webinar on Monday night, just talking order placement. Each Wednesday night at 7 Eastern, right here on this YouTube channel, we do our Trade Masters webinar where a couple of coaches will come together. Each will have a delta idea, a theta idea, and a wild card idea, bounce them around with one another and members of our team who will vote on whose ideas they like the best. Fun way to kind of beef up that midweek watch list. Got a lot of live stuff each week here on our YouTube channel. But we also have a lot of kind of standalone content, if you will, a lot of, walkthroughs and tutorials and think or swim tutorials, and certainly always looking to add more. Certainly, if you haven't had a chance to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, certainly would help us out in the YouTube algorithm. Hopefully, it would help you out as well. To be alerted anytime we are going live or got something new going on. Always appreciated on this end of it. As we kind of wrap up here, again, I'll kind of come back full circle. And really what tackle trading is, there's a lot of things that we can do, from our reports, our shows, the things that you can do on your own. There's a lot of things that you can do here. But at the end of the day, it really is, to me at least, about being around a community of traders, people who speak my language, people who are interested in talking about the same things I'm talking about, right? Trading's one of those things. Either you want to talk it or don't. There's not a lot of middle ground. I know when I've got a chart set up and I go throw it over in the, in the Discord, I know that other traders are excited to see it, and they might not like that chart, but they're happy to look at it. And it's such an important part, I think, of being a trader. So much of what we do is kind of on our own, if you will. So having a community that are going through the same things as you, certainly very, very valuable, at least in my experience. If you're a new pro member, I welcome you to the team. It's great to have you, and I'm excited to get to know you. You'll see me around quite a bit, so this won't be goodbye. If you're not yet a pro member, just checking us out, or maybe just hang around on our YouTube, we'll certainly appreciate you as well. I will let you know that we have a standing offer of a free 15-day trial. You can find the link to that in any of our YouTube videos. Can get you set up for 15 days on us. Come in, take a look at the back end, see if it's something that's a good fit. Hopefully it is, but if not, hey, you tried, and no harm, no foul. Do know that that's a standing offer. Would love to have an opportunity to get to know you a little bit better as well. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today. But I hope this gave you a better idea of who we are at Tackle Trading, what we're doing, when you can find it, all of that fun stuff. It's been my pleasure. I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful week, both in and out of the market. Hope to see you around.